What's up, YouTube? This is Buckshot33, aka Boston Chris, and I am responding to a video that I was tagged in. Actually, I was tagged a few different times. Started up by Rebel Comics, aka used to be Top Comics, and that is LP Larry Higgins. He's the creator of Niobe, and he came up with an idea of the top books that you would want to get slabbed. So I have my list of books, and I'm going to go ahead and start showing them off for everybody. Getting into it initially, a little bit of background with these books. So some of them are a little bit old. I would say got a couple of late Bronze Age, 90s books, and then just a bunch of moderns. Being a kid in the 80s and 90s, I didn't take a ton of good care of my books when I was young, just because I didn't really know much. In the 80s, I used to just get books for Christmas and didn't know anything about them. I just loved reading them. So I would just read them and read them and read them and read them until the covers fell off or they just, ripped or whatever. So there's a couple of books that, really didn't stand the test of time just because I was kind of rough about it. But and then in the 90s, I got introduced to, the X-Men with Jim Lee, and same deal. I just keep reading them and reading them. Didn't really know much about taking care of them until I got into my teen years, and then I figured out, better off to take care of some of these bad boys. So here's some of the ones that were lucky enough to survive, along with some of the modern books that I've picked up, in the past, maybe like a year or so, maybe a year, 2 years. But we're gonna start out with one that, well, most people aren't going to think that it's worth a lot, but I mean, it's in really, really good condition. And so I think just to be able to make sure that, I have a proper grading eye, I would go with Spawn #2. Now, I have multiple copies of this book. I should bring this a little closer to the camera for you. If you can tell, I mean, there's really nothing, wrong with the book specifically. Spine looks very nice. The corners are very, very, intact and everything. Show you up there. There's no rips on the top or anything like that. I'm not going to go into every single book like that, but this is a book I would probably say is, I would say 9.8, 9.6 range. Next is a Bronze Age book. And this is actually a thicker book that came out towards the end of the 70s, 1979. So this is Tomb of Dracula, number 70, double-sized issue. And, this is just I think, a very, very good copy of this book. Let me just show that, see if you can see up here. A little bit of glare, so I don't really have it. Let me just turn this over. Maybe you can see it a little better this way. All right, so if you can tell, the pages are all white. I mean, very nice. All the corners are nice and sharp. So, might not be the biggest and most expensive book, but definitely a book that I think I could send in and get a high grade on. So, and it's one I wouldn't mind displaying. Next is a book that I found this in a $2 bin. So this is one of my treasures that I found, and it's in such good shape that I normally, let's put it this way. This book, if I came across it again, I would love to have one to keep in my collection. And most likely, I would have found a really beat-up copy. But this book, like I said, I found this in a $2 bin, and it is just it was in extremely great condition. So much so that I was like, this must be a reprint something. But I looked through, and this is a first printing of this book, and that's one of my hero books when I was a kid, and that's G.I. Joe #1. So I picked this up maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, and I just have been always contemplating getting this graded since the moment I got it, just because of how nice it was. So at some point this is going to end up getting graded and slabbed, and and so that takes me into the modern books. Actually, no, that's not true. I have one more older book, and this is a series, and I don't have every single issue of the series out right now. Just because this is definitely going to be something that I'm taking this series to Boston Comic Con to get signed, and that is the Crisis on Infinite Earth series. I have all 12 of these books, and if you can tell, right in the middle is the signature of George Perez. So this year's Boston Comic Con, one of the big guests is Marv Wolfman, the writer on the book. and so I'm going to get him to. I'm going to at least attempt to get him to try to sign all 12. Once I have them signed, I'm going to go ahead and get these graded, all 12 of them, send them out. You know, and I will probably look to pick up another series of that book later on, because I figure, you know, these books, they're in really, really good condition. I got them about, it has to be like at least 10 or 12 years ago, for about $1 a piece. So I paid $12 for the whole series, and it just was in really, really great shape. So, you know, it's just something that I, you know, went ahead, got signed, and I figured, you know, might as well get it graded so I can, you know, keep it protected for the rest of, you know, eternity, I guess. I don't think it's something I would ever sell. You know, it's just something that's dear to me, so I want to be able to protect it as best I can. So next up, we have first modern book here. This is the J. Scott Campbell variant of Extraordinary X-Men #1 with magic on the cover. And yeah, this is a really, really pretty cover, and it's in great shape. This has not ever been opened. I picked up the book and I just, you know, never opened it because, you know, I just figured, you know, 1 in 25 variant, you know, not the most rare variant on the face of the earth, but it's in great shape and it's something I definitely would get graded. So next we have, oh, actually, I'm sorry. I had one more book from the modern age, and that the copper age, modern age, whatever you want to call it, 90s book. And this is another one I picked up in a dollar bin. It just, you know, my local shop had tons of them. I could have had at least like 10 or 20 of them if I just went ahead and got them. But I was nice and I only picked up a couple. And then, you know, some other guy just came up and snagged the rest of them. But it is X-Force #2. This is the second appearance of Deadpool. And so, you know, everybody knows how popular he is nowadays, right now. So this is definitely a book I would get graded. I have multiples of this. I actually have my original that I've had for years and years and years, which is probably not, I would say, if anything, it's probably like an 8.5. This is probably a 9.8, though. This came directly out of, you know, this literally was just, you know, perfect condition, or as perfect as I can tell from, you know, the naked eye. So, you know, definitely worth getting it graded to see what happens. Next up, we have two variants of the of this book. Now, I would get. I'm just gonna look at it like this. So I may try to see if I can find, you know, another regular copy of it. I think I do have the regular copy somewhere, but I don't know for sure. But this is the hip hop variant of SpiderMan Deadpool #1, and this is one of my favorite album covers of all time. It's cover swipe of Eric B. and Rakim's Paid in Full album, and you know, this is a great, great cover. So as soon as I saw the hip hop variants were being announced, that's the one I wanted to buy. And then there was a contest by Simplified Comic Guy, and I ended up winning the third prize in it. And along with the rest of the contest, he sent me the 1 in 25 variant of Spider-Man Deadpool #1. So this one I definitely will send to get graded at some point. This one, I'm still kind of on the fence. If I do have the original cover, which I think I do, I don't fully remember, just because, you know, I at the time was, you know, bought a bunch of books all at once. I'm almost positive I do have it, but if I don't, then whatever. I won't get that grade with the other one. I definitely will. And that takes me to next book here, and this one is another autograph book that I got by 3 of the 5 members on the team of this book, and that is Harley Quinn and Power Girl #2. And you can see on the signatures we have Amanda Connor, the artist, Jimmy Palmiotti, who was one of the writers, and this is Stephen Rue. So, you know, 3 out of the 5 signatures isn't bad. I would definitely get this graded. You know, it's just, you know, a really, really nice book. And just one, I mean, I just love this cover. So, I mean, for me, display purposes, this would be sick to have graded. And kind of rounding it out, we have a bunch of variants of one character's issues. So, that is the, I'm going to show the first one. So that is Spider-Gwen #1. And this is the Newbury Comics variant of it. So definitely, just something I would get graded. It's a store variant, kind of like a Hastings or something like that nature. So I'm not sure how abundant it is. I know that it's definitely, it's definitely something that people, would have, and not, there's not a ton of them around. But it'd just be good to have something to kind of display. Next is the hip hop variant. This is it says the Great Adventures of Spider-Gwen, which basically is a cover swipe of Slick Rick's Great Adventures of Slick Rick album. Awesome album. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Next up was actually, you know what? I will go with this one next. The cosplay variant. So then also we have the Phantom variant, which is really cool. This I got from my local shop, and they say it was only for 25 stores in the entire country. So one of my shops was lucky number 25. And then we have the Nick Bradshaw, Todd McFarlane homage variant, the Spider-Man #1 cover swipe. And so I really like this one. Like, out of all these, I like these two the best to get graded. But I would probably send all of them, all the variants, and just keep the regular issue in my collection just so I can read it. But that's definitely a cover, just a group of books that I would love to get graded and just keep. These ones I would definitely display. The rest of them I would just get slabbed, and kind of just switch the display out. That's why, in a way, I can see how variants kind of get to be a pain, but I also like having the freedom to be able to pick them up and just be able to display out. Just because if I was to hang this on my wall, I could have it on for let's say there's 5 of these or 4, 5 different variants here. So throughout the year I could switch. I could put one up for 2 months and take another one. You know what I mean? Just kind of rotate them out. So, and you never know. We'll see what happens with them. But that's my list of books that I want to get graded at some point. Not sure exactly when I will be able to do that. Boston Comic Con is a good place to do it, but it's just all about having the money, and I don't want to drop a ton of money just trying to get everything graded there. I actually wanted to pick up some art and pick up some, other books, see what I can end up collecting. So, with that said, that's my list, and seeing as how I was tagged and I want to go ahead and just keep this going, I'm going to tag a few others from the community to go ahead and see about getting some other people involved in this. So my list is as follows. Semperfi Comic Guy, go ahead and make a video with you and your books that you want to eventually get slabbed and graded. Next up, Huey's Comics, Spectacular Spider Grandpa, Spartan Gamer, and last but not least, the Hooded Hero, my friend Lewis. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and put the challenge to you. It's up to you to go ahead and put those videos up and make sure that you tag both myself and Rebel Comics. And for his tag name, it's REBEL space KOMIX. Go ahead and tag us both in the videos that you do, and let us know, what the video, books are that you want to get slabbed. Also, if you're just a regular subscriber of mine, you just want to check out and let me know what other books you want to do. Go ahead and tag me. Let me know what books that you want to slab, and because I'm interested to see other people's collection and just to see what the community's out there doing. So tag me in the video. Let me know, and we just keep it going. And yeah. So hopefully everyone's having a great weekend. I'm gonna get going because I got a few other things I gotta get ready for, and gotta actually post up another video very soon. So I want to thank you guys for watching. This has been Buckshot 33, aka Boston Chris. Happy collecting. I'm out.